So I got a gimbal here. I'm just still working on how to use this sucker. Now, some of you guys have asked for a little bit slower motion along with making sure that it doesn't shake as much. So I hope this gimbal works, and I'll try to make sure that from now on I kind of move a little bit slower and this gimbal works for the shakiness. And so anyways, we're here in February and have a decent enough sunny day here where getting some of the prep work done. I've got to travel end of next month, probably back overseas to Thailand for some work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the soil ready today. I took some of the perlite and some of the used soil from last year, reusing that. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take this soil that I got from these old pots from last year, and I'm going to go ahead and buy some tomato plants this year. I just don't have time to grow this year. So what I'll do is I'll buy some tomato plants and put them right here in the front yard, and buy some tomatoes and peppers. Now, just a FYI, you can't take tomatoes. You can't take the soil that was used for tomatoes the prior year and use it for tomatoes again the second year. They tell you to actually give it 3 years before you go ahead and reuse that soil. But you can reuse that soil for other vegetables, such as like peppers and bell peppers. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that soil that I got together, kind of mix it around, get it prepped up, and I'll use that for growing my bell peppers. And I'll buy the bell peppers and the tomato plants probably from Home Depot or Lowe's. That'll be just easier for me this year. And I also went ahead and got these pots of the rosemary and the mint, and I went ahead and basically kind of cleaned up these pots. As you can see, there's a number of dead branches from last year. This one here, I only did half of it so far, just to kind of show you what was going on. I had this is the oregano, and what I did was I chopped off all the old dead branches and cut it back basically. The mint itself is looking pretty good. The mint is coming back. One thing nice about this zone here in 8B is that a lot of this oregano, rosemary, and the mint all comes basically grows back. And as you can see, I went ahead and cut off the tops of those dead branches there. I probably should have cut it back a little bit more. I'll probably come through here and just chop them back a little bit more. And so they're doing pretty good. I grew a little bit of rosemary over here in the corner. I got to get back over here and take care of that a little bit later. And looking pretty good actually. And so take care of that later this year. And then I have some rosemary stems here. Needs to get planted. I got more than enough cuttings, so I'll take care of that. The weather's starting to warm up a little bit, although they said there might be actually a chance of snow tonight. But if you can look at this blueberry plant, you can see that the buds are starting to form, so leaves are coming out very soon, right? So not too shabby. I put this out here in the garden. It was under the roof overhang, but you can see that the soil is pretty dry there. I did a meter test today and realized that my blueberry plants needed a little bit of water, and I like to self-water it myself, or let it naturally rain and water that way. Now this little corner here you see by the street, I'm covering that up because what I'm going to basically do is the apple tree that's in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and get that planted this year. It's fine growing in the pot itself, but with me being gone a lot already and going to be gone a lot next year, or rest of this year and next year, once it comes time for me here at the end of this month or early next month, I'll do, of course, the horticulture oil spraying, and I'll be spraying the plants fairly soon here. And once I do the spraying, of course, I'm going to need to go ahead and figure out if I'm going to leave it in the pots or plant it in. So before it gets any later in the spring, here in the next several weeks, a couple weeks here, when the ground thaws and it looks like we're kind of turned the corner from the winter period, I'll go ahead and get that soil and that area by the front yard prepped and plant this dwarf apple tree in that location. and it's hard to see within the inside there, but you can see that the buds are starting to deform. They're not opening up at all, but they are starting to form. Unlike these blueberry plants, if you look at that, you'll notice that the buds have already formed and the leaves are kind of protruding out. And actually, in some of the leaves are actually already started to sprout out. So, not too bad. Pretty nice day out here, on and off, cloudy, sunny day. And so we're getting a nicer weather today. But supposedly this evening we're supposed to get a little snow. So that's a little bit of what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get back to work here. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Talk to you guys later.